Hey everybody, just a quick message from Bonkers Network. We would like to remind everybody that certain topics of discussion may not be comfortable for all listeners. Certain viewpoints may not reflect those of our partners, sponsors, affiliates, our hosts, or that of our guests. We would like to encourage everybody to keep a respectful and open climate of discussion for all topics, no matter how disturbing they may be. So viewer discretion is advised.
In life, you never know what crystals may just lie inside what you see. This is The Inner Court, featuring Smith Family Paranormal Investigations. Uncover the gems deep inside the mysteries to see what you discover.
Hello all. Just shared out as the intro was going. We have Samuel tonight for his amazing show. We will jump right into this. And before I do hand it over, everybody and anybody that hops in, say happy birthday to Chad. Today is his birthday. So I'm going to hand it over and I'm going to hop off. I'm still here. I'll just be in the chat.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody for letting me have this. I say thank you to Chad and Linda. I'm hoping my brother-in-law does a little bit better. He's going through some stuff. I also want to say thank you to a bunch of people, Ashling, and also a friend of mine named Kathy. I hope she's doing well. And all those people in Florida, I want to say thank you, and I hope you guys are doing better and fully recover quick from the hurricane. Well, this one is the Minor Arcana of Tarot. In the aspect of tarot, there are a lot of decks. Typically, there are 78 cards in a tarot deck, depending on the deck. People use cards as that of a religious practice and even that of a tool. Those cards naturally have a lot of energy within them, even whenever you open the box out of the cards. Some people say that they have energy in the individual cards themselves, depending on the person who is doing the reading. And guess what? They are right. All those decks have at least two kinds of cards, the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana. The Major Arcana is sort of the all-stars. People have different decks and can even recognize certain cards of those decks. People almost immediately recognize the Devil, Death, the Sun, even the Tower, etc., etc. Those are just a few of those cards that are recognized in the Major Arcana. The Minor Arcana also have their meanings, and especially the placement of the cards, and also the spread of the cards. Those cards are that of the Minor Arcana of at least 4 elements and can serve that of those elements: water, fire, earth, and air. Each of those elements have their own meaning and take on the characteristics of that placement, giving the card a significant difference of where it belongs. This report will try to explain the condensed version of the Minor Arcana. Water is that of intuition, emotion, along with inner reflection. Earth is the foundation, substance, your connection with life, and your family foundation. Fire is that of energy, transformation, inner strength, and personal power. Air is that of intellect, intentions of the mind, and a strong connection with the universal life force. With these 4 elements in most decks, they try to give a foundation of most any deck has to say. Minor Arcana, in theory, need the elements in a sort of vital way. Many people are about certain elements or a combination of those elements. Personality traits can lead to those signs and give people some amount of explanation as to why they are the way they are. You can take astrology and even numerology to explain this. Even sometimes the major arcana can do this is with an explanation. With that, this is about the minor arcana. Let's truly begin with this. Cups is the suit of water. Cups are a suit that can be attributed to the mother. It is normally attributed to that of the womb also. Along with that, more than anything, is about gut instincts. It can be also said to be about intuition, and with some people, it can be about gut instincts, as said before. With other people, it can be that of certain mental abilities, empathy, telepathy, telekinesis, and other types of things. Sorry, Pentacles is the suit that is about the earth element. With earth, there comes part of the material. The material is said to be that of at least wealth, possessions, and even physical health. And this plane of existence, that is very, if not extremely important. When someone loses everything, it can weigh in on a person in a hugely negative way. It is also that of money and currency. People can get by without money, but it is extremely hard. Another thing about pentacles, it can be that of the body. Keeping your health up is very important, and taking care of yourself is considered very essential. Swords can be considered that of the element of fire, but some decks that usually argue that of air. So, swords are those of extreme emotion. It also represents conflict, whether it is righteous conflict or not. It can be that of inner conflict also within oneself. Another sword part of it represents freedom and honesty, and sometimes that of defending yourself. Along with the representations, it can be that of cutting ties from that of negativity and other things that can be, or even positivity. Some say it is sort of like burning bridges. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's up to the individual. Wands is that of air, and some speculate is of fire. There's also a reputation of being that of the scholar. And the behavior of the scholar, people think of intellect as being book smart, which is part of it, but it's also that of common sense. It is of leaning and teaching and maintaining that knowledge. It is also teaching and maintaining what you know and what you have learned. And as said before, of those suits, those cards of the minor arcana have an individual meanings. Cups is that way of the mother. Pentacles is that way of the material. Swords is that way of the warrior. And wands is that way of the scholar. Next part is the way of the minor arcana. Well, the court of the minor arcana. What is being mentioned is mainly with the witches deck. The witches deck is not super known, but it is known on depending who you are in your experiences. The king cards are that of the way of the ones who prepare with the choices they make. They are the ones who give direction, whether the direction is good and or bad. This could go with someone who plans something wonderful to make someone happy, such as wishing to marry a person. This can go bad if someone prepared to do something serious, such as a planned assault. This could go with, They are related to the seasons of winter, the kings. If you have a king of cups on the spread, you could say he would be the person that would be calling the therapist to get some kind of help for the problem. The queens are those of the nurturer. They're the first steps of a goal. They can be that of someone who start the journey and have everything to start up the goal. It can be a goal that is wonderful and a goal that is awful for someone. Ill intent is no stranger to this card either. And it can be that of a person who takes the first shot or the beginning of the war. There are related to the season of springs, the queens. If you have a queen of pentacles on your spread, you could say she is the one. You could say she would be the one who is working the small weights to build her physical health. Princes are the one who are doing the actions, are the energy that are keeping something going. They're the ones you could say in a 9-to-5 job, they would be like 1 p.m. on their shift. They're the ones who cut ties in toxic relationships, and are the current action of a goal that is being pursued. The Prince of Cards are the ones who are of summer. If you take the Prince of Swords, and they're the ones who are in the middle of a battle, making an advance upon his enemy during a heated battle. Like I said, they're the ones who are in the combat, in the current amount of combat, or plans, or whatever it is. The princess cards are that of the end. They are the reaching of a goal, and that of collecting reward or losing the reward or the goal. They are considered to be the ones who is of pass or fail. The princess card is of the fall. If you take the Princess of Wands, the princess is that of someone who have the goal, sort of an academic pursuit, such as finals for a school of some sort. The princess is different from other cards in the way that she can make a side quest of sort, and a sort of give a minor goal if the goal has been accomplished or if the goal's been lost. If you take like a video game and everything, and you get to a certain part of it, you could say it's like a side quest that the princess gives. In other words, to some extent, you have another shot with her. In summary, these four types of court cards, they can be adapted to the 4 elements of the zodiac. And they are also the cups, pentacles, swords, and the wands. Keep in mind the king is the planner, the queen is the beginning of the journey, the prince is the one of the middle of the journey, and the princess is that of the end of the journey. The princess is the wild card in the way of giving possibility of a side adventure, whether it is good or bad. The interesting part now comes to the number cards of the Lesser Arcana. You could say they are the working class of the tarot. With this report, this is the Arcana that is right side up. Just because something is right side up does not mean that is a good thing. And it does not mean it's a bad thing. They are the most numerous of all the cards. Depending on your deck, and depending on your deck, you can have at least 40 of the minor cards, 1 through 10. This is the suit of the mother. In other words, the cups. Beginning of emotion, card number 1. The combination of female and male attributes of common sense. This is the number 3. This is the emotional relationships. It can stand for polygamy and non-possessiveness. And with this, it can signify control of one's emotions. Love, emotion, forgiveness, potential of emotional structure breaking down. Emotions are not forever, but it also has righteous anger, which is number 5. Number 6 is imagination, balance, and also added on to it, great work. Number 7 is desire for love and the fantasy of love. Drive from imagination, emotion can be that of inspiration and is inspiring. Number 8, harmony in thoughts and the ideas and the feelings. When the heart and the mind or the brain align. So if your heart says one thing and your logic says that, and they both agree, that would be number 8. Emotions, imaginations, and also possible birth is that of number 9. Potential of a wish come true and everything going well. Number 10, the true feelings manifest. Looking for that feeling that is missing in a person's life. This is the suit of pentacles, the material. Making and starting with wealth. As I said before, number 1 cards, the ace, is the beginnings. Number 2, male force, wisdom, and even strong physical strength. Number 3, work manifesting, possible pregnancy, and a sign of hard work. Number 4, may lack of structure, and that can be of health and or wealth. Number 5, getting in shape, watchful spending, change in health, whether good and or bad. Number 7, launching of a new and significant project needing to be done. Number 8 is the stability in work, satisfaction, high wealth potential, with hard work becoming healthier and wealthier. Number 9 is that of self-discipline, and maybe even that of self-education. It has the potential of growth along with, and added on to it, conception. Conception doesn't always mean a fetus being born. It can be also that of the mind or the body or even of wealth or even of feelings. Number 10 is the recognition of the beauty of life, a happy, healthy home. This is the suit of the sword, in other words, the warrior. Beginning of the warrior spirit and strong emotions, passion, anger, fight, and even conflict. Aggression, number 2, aggressive thinking, given good direction and even stronger energy. Number 3, conflict that produces sorrow and group conflict to make discipline. Number 4 is diligent work ethic, direction, and even contentment. So basically, you get to feel a little bit more comfortable in life and you feel like you accomplished a little bit more. Basically, with number 4, you're at inner peace. Number 5 is facing a strong opponent who may be too strong for you. Also, getting rid of anger and certain prejudices. This gives way to new beginnings of thinking. Number 6 is a possible journey. It also has different ideals and is of self-sacrifice, but in the right direction. In a general way, change. Number 7 is intense communication, but with an impulsive nature. To some degree, if somebody sees something, they have to have it. They have to want it. Or they may long for it very quickly and very dramatically. Number 8 is the mental state of happiness, weakness, and feeling of being trapped in possible legal, and added on to it, possible legal action. Hope through acceptance of the major and the shocking even. In other words, being able to hope through something in a dramatic sort of stance or whatever you want to call it. But keep in mind, time does move on with number 9. Number 10 is that of swords is the sacrifice, ruin, despair, and putting things to realization. And like I said before, clarity. So the thing is, if you summarize it and you see it and see it for the good and the bad, that would be number 10. This is the sword. Okay, and that's the swords. This is the sword of wands, which is the scholar. Beginning of the scholarly path, of course, male way of thinking, logic, and focus. People sharing activities, limits of energy by things manifesting. Number 4 is the goals, celebrations, and other things. And added on to it, it can be that of stability. Number 5 is attention to detail and getting rid of old and outdated. You could say with number 4, number 5, I apologize. It could be closely related to the Tower card. If you know the Tower card and you take a look at it, you'll definitely see what I mean and definitely look it up. Some people love it and some people hate it. And number 6, group actions. It can also signify creative energy and hard choices. And within the hard choices, if you think about it, choosing the lesser of two evils, which I guess you can say it can be related to politics, if you want to call it that. Number 7 is the victory in academics. Personal victory, using passion and fire to achieve your goals. In other words, if you succeed at something, you could say that anger and that resentment could push you to, how can I put this? Anger, resentment can motivate you into doing great things I guess you can say out of spite. Number 8 is that of repetition of behavior. Acting on positive situations and acting on ideals and construction of doing what is right. Number 9 is the deeper levels of memory, independence, and it can signify creativity, excitement, and inspiration. And number 10, someone who makes more effort in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mike had a good question. Can you make your own cards from natural material you collect from the forest?
Yes, you can. That you can. Some people can do it, some people can't, but we all have that potential to do that. As we can sit there and say you can do it with runes. I've heard people doing it with tea leaves, which is always interesting. I've seen it 2 times, and the people are brilliant whenever it comes to that. At least for me, I've tried it and I couldn't do it. But the thing is, especially with Mike, the guy's freaking brilliant, and I went and put it past him if he can do it or if he already has. So at the end of the day, in regards to someone like Mike, I just kind of expect it with his brilliance. And I'm not.
You definitely could. Chad also had a question. Can you use regular deck of cards for tarot cards?
Yes, you can. But the thing, keep this in mind. With the deck, with regular cards, yes, you can. My suggestion, at least whenever you do that, at least like I said, my theory is that when you do that, you might want to do a little bit of research that you can do. And keep in mind, with a regular deck, a regular playing deck, you might want to do some studying and everything. But once you do the studying and everything, you'll be able to adapt it. And there are certain, if you go to a local library, well, I guess you can say if you go to a regular library and you look up tarot, you can adapt those elements to, or those suits. I guess you can adapt those suits to, what do you call it? or you can adapt those suits to what has happened. So say like it's hard for me to explain, and I really can't. But I've seen it done before, and those people are brilliant who do it.
Okay, that's awesome. I am going to hop back in the backstage. I will be in the chat. Go ahead and continue.
Yes, ma'am. Number 10, someone who makes the more effort and going in a new direction, manifesting thoughts, and also maybe have some amount of discrimination. But you have to remember, the thing is that, how can I put this? With those 4 suits, as Mike was saying, you can do that. Like I said, with Mike, I always expect greatness. I have one friend of mine. She is over the top brilliant through thick and thin. And to me, that's how I see her as. I've normally talked to her a few times, but she's brilliant. And I've got another friend I've talked to for years, and she's brilliant too. And both of them, they know their stuff through inside and out. But when you do readings with tarot, you have to keep a humble attitude. And also, through thick and thin, respect your deck. And sometimes those energies that are within your deck. So that's my suggestion on whoever is doing tarot. But the thing is, on what Chad was saying, the regular deck, I guess you can say with a regular deck, it would be the court cards, and it would also be the minor and the numbered cards of the minor arcana that you would have to use. But yes, you can use that. Okay, depending on how you look at something, life is a bit of give and take. If you want something, you have to pay for it. Not necessarily that of money though, but depending on anything, there is a way of paying for it. Keep in mind the cards, whether anyone wishes to admit it or not, the cards are that of a way of giving an amount of guidance. With this, you have to remember the cards are the way of the elements: water, earth, fire, and air. Those cards lead to the minor arcana. The minor arcana can be that of 56 cards. The minor arcana, depending on your deck, has 14 cards by suit. And those four cards that consist of the court are the king, the queen, the prince, and the princess. The king is the planner, the prepper, and even the one who gives the orders. The king is that of winter. The queen is the start and gets the ball rolling. The queen is the one who takes the steps takes a step off the safe ground and takes the first steps, and is also of the spring. Prince is that way of the one who is doing the work and walking the path. They're the ones that are taking the test, working out, getting therapy to have a better mentality, and also fighting the fight. Plus, the prince is that of the season of summer. The princess is, in a certain way, the end and the beginning. She is that of the harvest, and also that of different of different forms. She is of the season of fall. With all this, people have to think of the possibilities of the deck. The number of cards of the deck do stay true to the suit of the deck, but can be more specific of what happens with that deck. Then there comes a huge player that is not of that deck, the placement of the cards, whether it is of the timeline stages or even that of the Celtic cross. The cards can have infinite meaning. With all this, it is that of guidance to someone in life, or someone giving a potential warning on a bad decision. In other words, it can give a warning, or if you're doing the right thing, it can keep up with that. So, are there any more questions? Well, I will say this much. Like I said, I will say this much. Okay, go ahead. You still there? Hold on a second. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I will say this much. Whenever it comes to a deck, it is your, I guess you could say it's kind of a ghost because it's a recording to some degree, in the way that it leaves this imprint of certain energies and everything like that. What else can I say? With my deck, you have to remember I don't actually cleanse it. I collect the energy of it and everything to give more of a warning to make it work for other people and not just of myself. And at the end of the day, like I said, at the end of the day, it does the job and works with people depending on what you think. And there are tons of other decks out there. But like I said, I've had two more, not just my witches deck, but I've had two more. I can't remember one of them, but the other one was a rider deck. But the thing is, my favorite's the witches deck through thick and thin. And another thing also, if you do what we do in investigations and everything, it can help out quite a bit. It can give an idea of what somebody's going through and what somebody's doing. And it does help, especially with that of the living. And like if you take the Nine of Swords and everything, you could say is that of running with a rough crew. You could say it's running with a rough crew, but it's not necessarily bad. So like if it's in the past, if you have a past card, then you made an end of it. It's sort of like you could be part of the military or even a gang or something. And if it signifies your past environment or your past events, you may have moved past it and gotten stronger. And what else? And then you also say like, how can I put this? You also say like you have the prince of Pentacles. That could be, and it's on your strong suit. That means you can be good with money. Your health is you're working out, getting healthier, and that's your strong. And if it's on the strong point, the hopes and strengths, that can help. Any more questions? Well, I will say this much. I want to say everybody needs to say happy birthday to Chad. I want to say thank you to Kathy. You've been nothing more than great. And I always appreciate you. What else? And also Dakota and Chris, you two are some pretty funny, over the top freaking funny people. But like I said, that is my interpretation of the minor arcana. And to give credit, Tarot and Wisdom and Spiritual Teachings, which is the title, and the writer is Rachel Pollack, and the Witches deck, the writer of it is Ellen Cannon Reed. I do want to give credit to them. Of course I do. And there you go. So any more questions? Anybody have any more thoughts or opinions?
If anybody has any questions, please go ahead and put it in the chat, and I will put it up for Samuel.
Well, I will tell this much. Number 4, the wands, also the ancient ones. I had somebody do that and everything. And keep in mind, brilliant, brilliant person. But I have literally never seen that card pop up so many times for her. Last 3 times I read her, the 4 wands came up in a witch's deck, which means the ancient ones, the knowledge and this and that. She's going through a lot of stuff in her time, and she's going through a lot of stuff in her life, and that's how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
God don't.
I have learned over this past time on tarot cards. Obviously, we have a few decks that we like to experiment with.
Thank you, Silver Fox.
Yes. It's our addiction place. But tarot cards are more than just a deck of cards. You have to learn. You have to learn to communicate with spirits, the divine, in order to get that connection with your cards, as well as who is going to trip that card. It's kind of one of those, what I have learned, especially watching Sherry when she does her card reading and others. Hey, Coffin. Thank you guys for coming in. I do appreciate all the support. A doorway to the other side, away to receive messages. Yeah, well, that's what I was getting at. Yeah. It's one of those, as I was saying, I've watched Sherry do multiple card readings, and she shuffles it and shuffles it when she gets into the connection. And either the card will flop out or jump or, make itself known that this is the card you need to pull. This is the message. This is what needs to be received. And it's been on point. So that's what we have learned along the way.
Well, I will say this also. I've had my deck. I've had in a deep connection with throughout the years. Now, some people might think I'm lying for this, and I wouldn't blame them. But I didn't have my witches deck for a few years, and then in 2004, no one ever remembers this, but 4 hurricanes hit Florida. Now, my parents had kicked me out and everything. And when they kicked me out, they put all my stuff into a shed, and the shed blew away. But for some reason, they were able to recover a few of my things from whenever I was there. And I was grateful as anything when they found my witch's deck. Now, my witch's deck, which is interesting, it was in the elements for 4 straight years. It was out in the elements for 4 straight years. And keep in mind, also at the time, I never cleansed them. Now, the thing was, whenever I got them back, it was a completely different deck as opposed to most anything else. And so that is what had worked for me. And that's what worked for me on that. And I love that deck. I've loved the other cards, but that deck has been there for me. It's been there for others. Some people know I can read, others, but not like my deck. But what else? I want to say thank you to my friend April in Florida. She's going through some stuff, but she tries.
Sis, are you saying you want to come up? All right, give me a second. I will send you the link right now.
I can get out my witch's deck if anyone wants to see it.
I think Sherry, there it is. Sherry said that she wanted to come up.
Of course.
For his birthday? Yeah, that'd be awesome. What the world? I hit the button and it didn't work. Give me 1 second. My computer's been malfunctioning since I've been doing a lot of crafting lately.
I don't blame you.
All right, sis, I sent it to you. Or I sent it in the company chat because it was right there. Let me know, my dear.
Well, put me on black just 1 second. I'm going to go get my deck if they want to see it.
You want an 8? Okay. So.
I'm here.
Okay.
Love the shirt. Love it. Now, you guys saw this. This is my deck. This is my deck. This is the back of them, and this is one of the many ones where it's talk about death. That's weird. It just came out like that. It's the Prince of Wands, and I'll pull out one more, and the Prince of Swords. But like I said, it's the deck that works for me the most, and I love this deck through thick and thin. And I need to use it a lot more for people. But I want to use it for a lot more for people.
Sorry. I know. Hey, sis.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Anna Marie, I definitely do it. Some people think it's creepy as hell whenever I do readings out in the middle of a grocery store. Like, oh my God, don't tell me that. So
before we do Chad's reading, that needs to be charged. I know. You see his wonderful shirt?
It does look really nice.
I made that.
Oh, that is awesome.
And then I'll show you mine afterwards. But this is the most important.
That looks like that's come from a shop. That's really good. That's awesome, sis. You've done amazing with that. That looks awesome on you, Chad.
Thank you, C. Death, for subscribing. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys, for the love and support. You guys are awesome. I absolutely love you guys. Thank you for helping us grow. It means so much to us.
Both on YouTube and on Twitch.
Yep. You guys are amazing. All right, go ahead. I'll shut up.
So what cards would you like, Chad? Would you like the angel or would you like the fairy?
I said angel.
Angels. Okay. Yes. It's the cards. Right. So what I want you to do, Chad, is to just focus on what you're wanting to get from a message from the other side. And I'll keep shuffling until one's jumped out already. I will keep shuffling until I'm instructed to stop or they jump. And I will reveal the card and then obviously read from the book as well and tell you what I pick up.
Nathan's a nice name there, Princess.
That one. Okay. Oh, that one flipped. That one. Right. So what do we have?
We have a bunch of different decks, Princess. We have Crystal Fox has like been
very generous.
Very generous.
There are clear messages coming through to you from the other side. So I'm taking it this may be your uncle or someone. I am feeling somebody that is trying to come through, feeling the feelings of love and thank you to you for helping in the situation and the stuff that happened with him. And I'm also feeling that he's giving you words of encouragement. I don't know what that's about, but there's words of encouragement. And to keep believing and to keep going forward in what you want. So let me reveal this one. So you've got the Page of Water. Intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person centers your life. A relationship begins a new phase. Heightened physic abilities. So let me just go to that in the book. So I do like to also read it out through the book so you can get more of an understanding. That's right. Come on, girl. Page of Water, there it is. A new person or emotion rousing situation enters your life. It could be the start of a friendship or a romance, or the renewal of one from your past. A current relationship may enter a new phase. It's important to discuss your feelings with those around you. Your intentions and physic abilities may also be heightening during this time. People, a youth who's emotional, intuitive, and sensitive, a person who's gentle, kind, artistic, and sometimes quiet, understanding, friendly, intuitive, and sympathetic and romantic. The additional meaning of this card: a love letter, imagination, artistic endeavors, and important dreams. So when reading that out, I do feel that there are dreams and things that you're obviously already trying to achieve and you're doing really well in, but I'm feeling there are other pathways that you're wanting to go into to try and become a lot more in who you are. Obviously, we know that you've got some sort of spiritual ability. And I do believe that is probably opening up more in you, Chad, because you've started to be feeling more. So I think that the message is to start feeling and listening to that more, because maybe by doing that, maybe people such as your family, your uncle that you've just recently lost, may be able to communicate with you in a more easier way. I think this is a way of him saying to keep going into what you're doing, and then maybe you can make that connection with everyone that you've lost in the right way. You can also bring that into your careers and into the thing that you're doing. So your paranormal and stuff like that, you'll be able to bring it into that and enhance that. And in the future, that's going to be quite prominent for you both. I do feel this is a message to you, but also to Linda, like that both of you continue doing what you're doing, and it will become more because it's already achieving. So that's what I get from the Page of Water, which is this one. So this is
in the video that we're going to be posting. In the video we're going to be posting, Linda actually can attest to this. I heard something she didn't.
Yeah. So he's definitely opening up.
Yeah, and that's what they're putting across, that they're sensing this is happening. That's why it's got about the abilities and stuff. And obviously, I do feel that, like, I feel that maybe the uncle's a little bit worried about Chad, that Chad's been a little bit down over what's happened, and he's just trying to reach out to him. I'm feeling them trying to tell Chad that, that he's okay. and that he gets that he's upset, but he's still there. And he's telling you to look into other ways and other things so that you can connect more, and that'll probably put you more at ease, but it also will bring you into other career options in what you do now. So keep working on it. The second card. Oh, Ace of Earth. The inflow of abundance. A promising business venture. Important documents or contracts. So maybe there are some very important situations and important paperwork that are needing to be looked at the minute. And I'm feeling a very prominent message to make sure that things are looked over carefully before making any decisions, making sure that things are in place properly. These I feel are quite important documents and things that you're really going to need to look over before you make a big decision. A possibility of a promising business venture. Now, I think that could be something entering into what you already do. So maybe you're going to get an offer or something where you're going to go to somewhere that you've always wanted to go, or you're going to maybe travel somewhere. Maybe it's still in the USA, maybe it might not be, but there is a venture in the future on your cards. And inflow of abundance. So feel the abundance and feel the love and feel the energies of the higher divine power telling you that you're in the right path and you're doing the right thing and you're moving the right way, but also hear those messages from your loved ones as well. There's a lot of proudness around you at the minute. So reading that.
See, that's so true. It could be. That would be awesome.
Sorry, guys, these books are all upside down, inside out. Now, I do like to read, like I said, I will pick up on what I get from the cards and stuff, and then I do like to read the full version so people get more of an understanding of what's trying to be said.
That's why I asked you to do a reading for me.
Yeah. Ace of Earth. Significant abundance flows into you now. You may get a promotion, a salary, or an increase of unexpected money. If you're starting a new business, the ventures will likely succeed. Them foundations for prosperity has been well led. It's also a good time to make an investment. Consider an opportunity carefully. You may soon receive some important legal documents, contracts, or correspondences. The additional meaning of this card: report of a gift, a receipt of a gift, improving health, earning a degree, significant purchases, and excellent luck.
That's awesome.
And then we've got that was this one.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, that's a very positive one. That's a powerful one as well. And then the last one. Oh, wow. We've got two of the Earth cards. Someday are definitely trying to tell us something.
Uh-oh.
Generous, professional, responsible, practitioner. It's about the company. It seemed like something really big coming to the company. And maybe this will be in a profiting way to you guys.
I know.
You are very generous and you do help people out, and keep doing that, because that's going to pay off for you guys, because it already is. And then it's saying professionally. So something professionally in your career is going to come out. So I don't know whether you're going to get maybe a promotion or asked to join something to do with the paranormal or anything like that. But there is something really big coming towards you. Responsible. So whatever the outcome or the situation that you're going to come into and that you're going to succeed in is going to be something that you're responsible for. So it's going to be you that's in charge. It's going to be you that leads that. It's going to be you that maybe brings others into it. And practical. So it's going to be something that's going to work easy for everybody, and everybody's going to be able to achieve from it. Whether this is an old plan that's going to come back or this is a new plan, there is something in place that they are obviously setting up for you. By the sounds of it, they're trying to put something out there. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered, and the minder's touch, which is the higher. The minder's touch. So they're obviously trying to gift you with something. So they're seeing all of the work you're putting in. They're appreciating what you're doing, and you have been putting a lot of work in. So something really good is coming to that. So let me just bring that up. The King of Earth. Yeah, here it is. Situations. This is a successful time. Your current projects will go well. You may be promoted or offered a higher salary. Your talents and skills will bring rewards for you and others. This is what I was telling you. Accept the opportunities offered to you and have confidence that you'll succeed. People, someone with outstanding business skills who is good with money and can provide excellent advice. A person who has been successful in a career and now enjoys the finer things in life. Professional, generous, responsible, and practitioner compliment. The additional meaning of this card. The mother's touch, a capture of endurance, employers, financial security. So there's going to be something that's going to put you financially secure. It's going to be something that's going to bring out your career. You could obviously have other opportunities as well. There may be something at your normal job as well. It's going to happen as well. So you're going to get money from both sides. But I definitely do feel a very strong connection to the company that you've got and the shop. So something is coming. And I've just got a lot of excitement and happiness around me at the minute. So I'm guessing it's going to be coming pretty soon.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Something's
and as far as
going to help. So, and that was the King of Eight.
Ooh.
And just and I'm feeling okay. Huh? They're telling me to do you a witch card.
Well,
so here we go. One more. As Samuel said, right, and I will agree with him 100%, the witches' decks are the best. They are absolutely amazing. My ones look a bit slightly different to Samuel's, but they all do the same thing. But there's my witchy one.
Sure, I love that one. That's
beautiful. Yeah. And I have the book.
I think we have a witch deck somewhere around here.
Right, so focus, because this is direct messages from Aurora and from the spiritual beings. Okay, so we're just going to see what they're going to be telling you. So I'm just going to shuffle till she tells me to stop. Okay, yeah, all right. God, you're shouting me here. Right, so what have you got, Aura? Okay. So, don't be alarmed. I think this is her telling you something. So you've got the death card. Okay, now when you get that, a lot of people will sit there and be like, oh my God, that's really bad. The death card really doesn't always symbolize bad things. It may be that there's going to be an end to something you've been having problems with. It's going to be the death of it. It's going to be something that removes. That's what I'm feeling from this card. I'm not feeling anything negative. I'm feeling you've had some situations that have been consuming you, upsetting you, and she's letting you know that is that's going to move over. Obviously, there has been a death in your family recently as well, and I think she's just sort of trying to symbolize there that, you know, they're aware that that's happened, and I'm getting the messages that everything's okay. So this is not a negative card. A lot of people, when they see this, they start like, what does that mean? Someone's going to die? No, there's a lot of ways to this card. It can symbolize.
By me reading through the decks, I know that with the death card, it's a transition from one situation
one place
to
or
another.
one thing to another. It's a, you know, it's not always represented to people dying or anything like that. It can be that you've been in a situation and you're going to be moving on from it. So the death card will come up to say that's the end of a matter or a situation is coming. So let me just read that in more form.
This is going to back you up, Sherry, on a different issue.
Yeah.
I literally just pulled, whenever I was showing my deck, the first card I pulled up was the death card.
Wow.
Did you notice that?
That's amazing.
And also the Prince of Wands. So the thing is, the knowledge that Chad might be getting is more substantial, more noteworthy, and both of them were right side up.
Yeah, it went upside down, so it's not a negative thing. It's more of a message of encouragement and that things are going the right way and things like that. I'm just trying to find the death card. There's so many paragraphs to this. It's unbelievable. That's the only thing when you've got books and that, guys, and you're having to go through it. No, that's cut.
Another thing also, Sherry, I pulled out the Prince of Swords and everything. And Chad has always had passion for anything and everything he's ever done. And also he is making the decisions of this and that. And it's becoming more and more substantial of what Chad is doing left and right. And so with the wands, he's got the knowledge, he's got the passion. So why not?
Exactly. And that's what these readings are. They're just pointing out to him, you know, that they're in understanding. They understand the things that are going on. They're, you know, they're symbolizing that they know that there's been. Why am I not finding the death card?
Probably because Dash has it.
It's in the book, unless somebody's scribbled it out in the book. Like it should be there, but there's the moon, there's the sun, there's karma, there's the world. I'm not finding the death card. Excuse me a minute, guys. Don't normally take this long, but for some reason it's playing up. Right, tarots 3. I have not got a clue where that's gone.
It's the letter D.
Yeah, they got the major achara.
I don't think you're helping her too much.
Get her mind to wander. Chad is a delicate flower. Don't make fun of him.
All the time. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm not finding the death card, which is what I want, because I'm wanting to try to read it to you. So, Aura, where is it? I've kind of gone past it because it should be in the Hanged Man. Death. Made me pass it like 4 times. Okay. The Death card is one of the most misunderstood cards in the tarot deck. Rarely does it symbolize a physical death. Instead, what it announces is residual change in the Quoran's life. In this card, Death's skull is lit with a glowing fire. The skull is a symbol of human mortality, and it is the seat of the mind. The greenish yellow flames represent the mind's energy and power. Death's armor is dark and well used. His white horse has glowing eyes and a bridle, a bridle with a skull and crossbones trim. Death carries a flag that announces transformation. The flag is in the flag embolizes with the number 13, the number of full moons in a year, and the flower on the flag is a 5-petaled white rose, symbolizing the natural cycle of life. The brilliant red skies of sunset is the background correspondence to the close of the day and to the close of the chapter in your life. A child stands before death with an offering of a bouquet of white daisies bound together with ribbons in the triple goddess colors of white, red, and black. In the language of flowers, white daisies symbolize innocence. It is important to note that the child is looking up and facing death while holding out the flowers. He is happy, trusting, and unfrightened of the night. He welcomes the change. The child represents hope. The meaning: this card represents change. In order for something new to grow, something old has to give away. This card often shows up in readings for pregnant women, which makes sense. Think about it. Their way of life is about to change forever. Their lives are about to transform into something else new and exciting. This card also symbolizes other important endings and beginnings in your life: birth, marriage, new job, leaving for college, moving, etc. Basically, one way of life is gone, allowing room for a new beginning and opportunities to emerge. Keyword: transformation, change, endings and beginnings, and cycles of nature and life. Deity associated: Hades, Pluto, and Hell. Hell as in Hel. Astrological association is Scorpio. And if it was reversed, it would have been traumatic adjustment, delay, difficulty, and change. But it wasn't reversed; it was up the right way. So, this card, as you've heard, is more symbolizing things that you've maybe been struggling with, and it's coming to an end. It's symbolizing that. It's telling you to walk forward in your beliefs and what you're doing, and look at the things that are troubling you in the face, because you can beat it, and you are beating it. So it's just letting you know that it's there, it's fighting for you. It's not going to be the way the situation is at the minute. It will change, and there may be other possibilities in life that's going to change a bit as well. Like I said, you've got something really big coming to do with the company, so maybe there's going to be a change. Maybe you're going to do different things to your companies. Maybe you're going to bring more into it. But this card really is out with the old and in with the new. That is what this card is about. So that's your card.
I'm Libra on the cusp of Scorpio, so
yeah,
perfect card.
And that was Mr. Chad's birthday tarot card reading.
Yay!
And you know, they are some of the best ways to communicate and to connect and to get the messages you need to know. And they really do work, guys. Like, you've only got to sit there and manifest that energy to the reader, and
That's
they'll
it.
bring the rest out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, well, what a way to have the show, like lovely Samuel there talking about tarot cards and that, and then I do a reading. So there you go.
There you go. That was perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, added on to it, I did have some cards pop up that you literally just read, literally by accident. Literally by accident, that you were literally just talking about. And they also work and coincide. I didn't think I was giving a reading today, and then all of a sudden your reading backed up what I said.
Yeah.
Exactly. So obviously there's most definitely was something that they were trying to say from up there, you know what I mean? If it's coming out in both lots of cards and it's two individual people, you know, these things really do work. And they're like, to me, they're one of the best ways for communication, especially if you're wanting to talk and know things. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you don't have to be spiritual or gifted to be able to do card readings. Like, yeah, if you want to be able to connect to them spiritually and to the other side, then yeah, do it that way like I do. But you can do readings through your own intentions. So you know, when you're shuffling them, like, you'll get that feeling to stop on a certain card, and you'd be able to stop and like read it out to the person. You can still do the same thing. I just happen to stop when I'm told to, or when something flies out.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I'm able to read what I'm feeling before I give the card to the person. I can feel what's being said and stuff like that.
I don't know if you saw it at the bottom of the screen, but C Death, who's one of our now subscribers and followers on Twitch, he said that was interesting and good work, Sherry.
Thank you very much, C Def. And the thing is I think, like, I get a lot of people come and do card readings with me, but I get a little bit nervous about doing it because I have a reading and writing disability. So some of the words I get really stuck on because they're really, really long. But I found that most people know what I'm talking about, and they can feel because of the way that I describe it before I do the cards. So it kind of links in, you know what I mean? I'm glad I have that side to me, because then people might be a bit like, she didn't understand what that word was, but because I explain it in my own way from them,
right,
people kind of get the message already before the book says what it's got to say, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
but everyone's different.
Oh, absolutely.
And I can't read and write properly doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to, you know, do readings.
No, you do excellent with your readings.
Well, I'm going to pop you guys down in the bottom, and I'm going to say our goodbyes for tonight, because apparently we got to get going. So,
and he doesn't know where we're going.
Ooh, surprise.
I love it.
So, thank you all for coming in. If you want, check us out tomorrow. Linda put it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Check us out tomorrow. We're going to do a birthday stream, even though today's my birthday, on Twitch, not on YouTube or anything. It'll be on Twitch specifically, mainly because we can utilize Twitch mobilely, and our StreamYards needs to get updated. But if it was updated, we would do on YouTube also. But 9:30. Have a fun night, guys. Happy 50th again. Thank you. Appreciate it.
See that.
Check us out tomorrow night. We're going to be on 9:30 Eastern. So that's, figure it out for yourself. That's like 6:30 for Sam, and 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2, like 2:30 in the morning for Sherry. If she's up. But we're also going to be with Paranormal in the Funhouse. We're going to be we're going to be with them, but we're going to be doing our own thing at the same time. So check us out tomorrow, and we will talk to you later.